Hey
Go
now,
for it.
cats, we're back again on the Balls from Ellwood show, and with me today, I am talking to a living legend. You may know him from films like Special Needs Revolt, Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD, Troma's latest upcoming classic, The Power of Positive Murder, and the upcoming R-Man Funk, and many more. Let's say hello to the man, the myth, the motherfucking legend, Mr. Bill Weeden. How are you, sir?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
I am
Balls.
I
What
am
kind of
great.
ball? What
Yeah,
kind of
balls is
ball?
great. I
Balls.
don't think I've ever answered the mic in 15 years. I mean, people say mic and I don't even, yeah.
Then balls it is.
Well, I wanted to get to it, sir. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk to you about, and it's a pleasure and honor to talk to you. So I wanted to talk to you about you a little bit. I was actually curious. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, about your childhood and your life growing up, Bill? Like, what kind of a kid were you growing up?
I was a nerd. I was always an outsider. I never fit in with the in crowd. Um, I I played the piano from a very early age, and I was pretty good at it. So that was one thing. I was always short. I still am, but it doesn't matter to me now. But when you're a child, sort of like, and everybody's taller than you, that's. I was very smart in school, got straight A's,
Oh,
and I
wow.
stuttered very, very, very badly. I stuttered really bad. I could scarcely get a sentence out, and boy, does that ever type you. So I was always an outsider, and I had a, I had a reasonably it wasn't affluent, but it was, comfortable situation. But my parents were um, difficult, and uh, my 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 natural father died when I was 4. I think I dodged a bullet because politically he was out to lunch, in my opinion.
Mm.
I was told that, I know a lot of your listeners are probably um, don't agree with me, but I'm definitely
No, anybody that's listening to my show definitely agrees with us because I don't want anybody even watching my show that doesn't agree politically with us. They can all fuck off.
oh my God, that's great. Well, I hope that I'm reasonably certain you're on my side of the spectrum.
Oh,
I'm
we surely, I see your post and
I'm,
we
de-
feel the same way.
I'm definitely what used to be called a liberal, now maybe called a progressive, but it's definitely on the left. And
Same.
I cannot figure in a million years how we ever elected this clown.
I can't
Uh,
either. In fact, I've lost so many friendships and family members over this bullshit, and it
I,
just still it
I
baffles
have
my
lost the
wife and
one.
I. I can't figure out how the fuck this ever happened and got to this degree. Like, I mean,
I cannot figure it out. And
it's
you
a
know what,
cult.
Mike?
You just call it what it is. It's a cult. Mm.
It is a cult. But let me tell you something. When he was elected the second time,
Hmm.
um, I made up my mind. I had spent 8 years, almost never quite throwing things at the TV screen, but almost 8 years being angry.
I
I
can't. I can't tell you one day I don't wake up and go, "Is he fucking dead yet?" Like, what the fuck? Like,
please, I so agree with you, and I don't want to say that
I'll
because
say it for you.
who knows who's going to come after you. The, the thing is, when he was elected the second time, I said, I am boycotting cable news. I do not want to see this dude's face. I don't want to hear his voice. I don't want to see him. And when I see him in the online, I scroll down quickly so I don't have to look at his face because I find him pure evil.
Well,
Pure
he
evil.
is. I mean, and it's
He,
funny. The thing that I can't understand is like Christian nationalists think this guy's religious in any capacity. He's the fucking devil. And there's not one teaching of Jesus Christ this guy practices, but they pander to these fucking morons and they all eat it up like biscuits and gravy. Hmm.
He's a disgusting excuse for a human being. I won't call him a human being
Oh, he's
because
not human.
I think he's subhuman. It's Hitler, Joe McCarthy. You may not remember him, but he was before your time. But
Oh no, I
he
know what you're talking about. Hmm.
he was totally evil, and Trump. That's it. Nobody else compares. I don't care what they say about Stalin. I don't care what they say about Mussolini. I don't care what they say about Charles Manson. I don't fucking care. It's Hitler, Joe McCarthy, Trump.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it for
Hitler
me.
2.0. Like this is essentially. Hitler all over again. And people are so fucking blind and stupid they can't see it. So,
Mhm. Yeah. So anyway, now that I got that out of the way, and I've turned off. Well, but no, but you say you don't want those
nah,
audience.
anybody that's watching my show, I would hope would understand this. And if they're not, hopefully you can learn something and from this. And then if not, I really don't want you watching me anyway. So,
Right. I mean, I was told by somebody who claims to be like independent, but somebody online said, you got to stop saying bad stuff about Trump, or you're going to turn off a lot of your trauma audience. Well, you know what? I, First of all, I don't equate politics with entertainment.
same.
Jon Voight is one of the best actors alive. He's
Yep.
also one of the most disgusting human beings.
Yep.
His politics are out to lunch. His
Oh, yeah.
politics are crazy, crazy. Uh, but I love his acting, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna not watch him.
Yeah. You could
And
separate the artist from the insanity. Mm.
absolutely, same goes for James Woods. Yeah, James Woods or Wood, whatever his name is. You know who I'm talking about, I think, right?
Yep.
His politics are turn me off completely, but I think he's a great actor, so I'm not gonna not watch him. And if they feel that way about me, whatever the cult of trauma is, if they're gonna turn off, uh, like say Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD because I don't like Trump, then they're just cutting off their nose to spite their face.
Well, that's just the trash taking itself out, if you ask me. But I mean,
True.
but I mean,
Well,
I'd like to think that like most of the trauma audience is progressive and intelligent enough to see through the facade of all that horse shit. But I'm sure there's probably people like Troma that are in fact in the cult. But I mean, I'd like to say for the most part, most of us are Legion.
yeah.
But anyway, getting back to your you growing up, did you always have the acting bug? Did you always want to become an
You
actor?
know, because I stuttered, I always wanted to be an actor. From the moment I drew breath, I wanted to be an actor. But I was a very good musical composer. I got into musical comedy. Uh, I began to write comedy songs, and instead of acting, I became a writer. I became a songwriter,
Hmm.
and did fairly well at it. Um, but one day I wrote songs with another guy that I met at prep school, and we went through college together, and we wrote musicals and songs and stuff. And then we came to New York City, and I wanted to be on Broadway. It was my big dream to be on Broadway. Um, we started to write songs for cabarets. We got very good reviews in the papers. We signed on with a big time manager who managed Woody Allen and Dick Cavett and
Hmm.
a lot of people. Uh, and got an agent, um, doctored a Broadway show, um, then wrote a Broadway show, which was horrible and flopped, but was a songwriter. Um, but one day, a friend of ours had taken over managing a cabaret in the village and said, "Would you like to come in there and sing your songs?" Because we sang our songs at parties, and even though I stuttered, I didn't usually stutter when I sang,
Hmm.
and in fact, I never stuttered when I sang, and and when I spoke between the songs, if I stuttered, which didn't always happen, I could always throw it to my partner, and he could pick up the slack. Um, we began to perform, and we got extremely good reviews in the papers. Um, and then I had been I'd been a 4 pack a day smoker until 1970. I stopped cold turkey. I began to drink like a fish. I stopped that in 1977. I haven't had a drink or a drug since then.
Congratulations.
I'm a fucking saint, man. I'm kidding. I'm not, but I haven't had a drink or a drug, and I hardly ever. I smoked marijuana 3 times. Did not like it, and that's the extent of my drug use. Um, I didn't like it. It put me to sleep. That's not what I wanted from a drug. I wanted visions. I wanted colors. All it did was put me to sleep. But I drank a hell of a lot, and I haven't had a drink since 1977, and my life changed. And um, somebody said to me, "What happened to your stutter?" I said, I don't know, but I stopped drinking, and I felt better about myself. So I don't stutter now. I mean, I do once in a while, but you can hear me talk. I don't stutter. And then I became an actor, and I became an actor mainly. My I was married once before. I'm married now blissfully to the same woman for over 30 years. But I was married for 18 years to another woman, and our marriage broke up
Mhm.
for 18 years. And I was devastated at the time. Best thing that ever happened to me, ultimately, because I wound up in a marriage that's about a million times better than the first one. Um, but I was at sixes and sevens and devastated about the marriage breaking up. And I'd always wanted to be an actor. And at this point, I really didn't stutter. So I started looking at casting notices. And I found one that intrigued the shit out of me because a few years before that, I had seen a movie called The Toxic Avenger, and I fell in love with it. And I knew it was made by a company called Trauma. So I looked at this casting notice. It was for something called K Man, K hyphen letter K hyphen man. Did not know the slightest thing about it, but they described it sort of. And I said, you know what? I'm very smart. That sounds like Trauma. That sounds like Trauma that made The Toxic Avenger, which I adored.
Mm.
I'm going to apply for this job. And I got it. Fast forward, I got it. And it was the villain in Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD. And it changed my life. I then got into acting big time, did a lot of stage acting, did some film acting, uh, mostly stage acting at that point, but it went really well. And I continued to perform cabaret and did a whole stint in the 80s for corporate entertainment. I my partner from school and college, we added a woman and we became a trio called Weeden, Finkel, and Fay. And we became uh, big time corporate entertainment writers and performers. And we toured the country many, many times
Hmm.
for Fortune magazine and for other Fortune 500 companies. I was appalled that I was working for corporate America because I had marched against the Vietnam War and corporate America was the enemy. But, it turned out good. My first reaction was, I don't work for corporate America. And then they told me what they were going to pay me. I said, I'll make an exception. So it turned out to be wonderful. And that was through most of the 80s, I did that. And then in 89, I did Kabuki Man, and my life turned around.
I wanted
And
to ask you, I think you're incredible in Kabuki Man, by the way, but I wanted to ask you, how do you prepare to play a villain? Is there any special techniques that you use to put yourself in the right mindset?
I, I personally, I'm a pussycat. I'm very affable. I won't say I'm the sweetest person in the world because I'm not, but I'm pretty nice. I'm affable. That's the way I describe myself. Uh, I'm not a villainous type, but I've got a lot of. Everybody's got some anger in them. You can plumb that, and you can try to get into the mindset of a villain. But here's the weird thing. I've been cast four different times as child molesters, and that's weird.
What?
That's yes, I have. That's really weird because I don't know why, but for different reasons. Uh, there's a movie called The Lives of Hamilton Fish, which is really good, very very artistic movie. It's a rock opera where I lip sync. It's about two men named Hamilton Fish. One was the one was the assistant secretary of the Treasury under Teddy Roosevelt, named Hamilton Fish. The other was a cannibal killer of children named Hamilton Fish. They died basically on the same day,
Hmm.
and their obituaries were on the same page of the same paper. It's a very weird story, but it's true. And a woman named Rachel Mason turned it into a rock opera, and the other guy that plays the assistant secretary of the Treasury, and I mouth the words. It's a really interesting movie. You can see it on Amazon Prime, I think. The Lives of Hamilton Fish. It's weird, but it's very artistic. Um, that was one where I played a child molester. And there were three others occasionally. Two were on stage, I think. Two were in the movies. I don't know where that comes from, but
Hmm.
it's possible as an actor to put yourself in that mindset as long as you don't stay there. Just for the process of acting, you have to find what motivates that person. And sometimes, not with a child molester, but sometimes with a killer or something like that, you can find something that you like about him. Like in Kabuki Man, I couldn't really find anything I liked about Reginald Stewart. By the way, are you aware? You're probably not. I'm going to tell you now. This may freak you out. We shot it. We shot Kabuki Man in 1989. Even then, my character, who was a villain, was based on Donald Trump.
Really?
Even then, we knew what an asshole he was. I mean,
Wow, I
boy,
didn't know that. Hmm.
yeah, he was always a complete asshole, complete fool. Everybody knew it that lives in New York, which I did, and still do sort of. Um, he was always a fool, and we knew it. And my character was based on Donald Trump. Then, of course, fast forward many years later, I did Special Needs Revolt, where basically I'm playing a character which is Trump.
I love that movie, by the way. I
Oh,
thought you
oh
were
yeah.
so great in that. You were surely Trump in that movie. Yes.
My character is even named Donald J. Kruger, which is
Yeah.
far from subtle, but I love it, and and I love that I get my comeuppance at the end, and in a way that I'd love to see Trump get his comeuppance, but
Oh yeah.
probably yeah, right. You know what happens at the end. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you're so
So
great in it. I absolutely love that's such a great movie. I'm glad now that it's more accessible to people and they could see it.
yeah, you could see it on Tubi. You could see it on Prime Video. You could see it on Troma now. It's available on three platforms, and it's really fun.
It
It's
really is. Hmm.
what what I really like about Special Needs Revolt is that it turned out to be a comedy. It turned out to be very funny. I wasn't ready for how funny it is, but I really like that you can laugh at it, and you can laugh at my character, even though he's Trump.
You can laugh at your character, but it's not so funny in real life.
It's not funny in real life at all. I have that same feeling when I wake up in the morning. Is he has that
Unliving.
happened yet? I don't want to say it. Has that happened yet?
Do you remember any stories like that stand out in your mind from when you were filming Kabuki Man?
Let's see.
What was your fondest memory?
My fondest memory, because it was just coincidental, is that the big unveiling of my monstrous character in the finale was filmed on Halloween,
Oh
and it
wow.
so appropriate. We shot that final sequence for 4 nights in a row on the waterfront of Hoboken, New Jersey, but the night that the full monster is revealed was on Halloween, which I thought was
Oh,
so
that's
cool.
super cool.
Yeah, that of course that monster thing is not me. That was special effects completely or makeup, but it wasn't makeup on me. The I I played the role up until my teeth are falling out. That was me. But after that, it's just stuff, other stuff. But it was, wow, was that fun? Filming that. Do you mind if I turn the fan on here? It's going to make a little noise,
Oh, it's
but
fine, Bill.
it's getting a little warm here in the room. And let me just reach this remote. There we go. Now I'll turn it on, and if it makes too much noise, let me know.
Oh no, it's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Good. I feel much better. Yeah, so that was a memory that I loved. I also loved Susan Byan, who plays, we're talking about Kabuki Man, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Su- Susan, there, you caught a little bit of the stutter there that I still have a remnant of. Susan Bion, who plays Lotus in Kabuki Man, she said to me, I wanted to be cast as Reginald Stewart. And that was my character, Reginald Stewart. She said, I wanted to play your part. Of course, they didn't want a woman playing it. But oh, here's another interesting thing. You may not remember a guy named Jack Valenti. Do you remember that name?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not
Jack
sure.
Valenti used to be the head of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences,
Oh,
the
okay.
Oscar thing. He used to be the boss of that, and he's deceased now for many years. But he used to be the boss at the time that Kabuki Man was being made, and he was a nemesis of Lloyd Kaufman because he came down on independent filmmakers and non-union stuff because he was union all the way, of course. So they were going through, Lloyd and his wonderful wife Pat were going through tapes that had been sent to them by people had weeded out the really bad tapes, I guess, and kept the ones they thought had promise. So they're going through the ones that had promise, and they saw mine and they liked it, and they were moving on. And Pat said to Lloyd, wait a minute, let's look at that one again. Doesn't he look like Jack Valenti? And I did a bit. Look at pictures of Jack Valenti. There's a resemblance. He said, yeah. She said, wouldn't it be great if the villain looked like Jack Valenti? So that's basically how I got the part. And I credit Pat Kaufman with that.
Oh, she's so great. I love the commissioner.
Oh, do you know Pat? Have you met her?
I've met her several times over the years at Tromathon and different
An
events
amazing
that we've
woman.
showed up to. She's a sweetheart. Mm.
She's an amazing woman, and she used to be like on the council of the Film Institute in New York or something. I don't know exactly what her position was, but she was a bigwig in the film industry in New York City. So she knows what she's talking about. But anyway, I credit Pat with getting me the part, but Lloyd went along with it, and and it was great working with Lloyd at that point. Yeah.
What's your fondest memory of working with Lloyd thus far? I mean, I'd like to
Well,
get into you. I
oh,
mean, I'd like to get into you. What was your experience filming on the upcoming Power of Positive Murder? Mm.
right. Well, um, this is interesting. I made a movie called The Once and Future Smash.
I've seen that. I like that too.
Seen that. And in that, I reveal my junk.
You're a better man than I am, sir.
You, I don't know about that, but I'm certainly like enough of an exhibitionist to be okay with that. So I I revealed my junk, and then again in Special Needs Revolt, which you do not see it because they've censored my junk in that, but there's going to be a director's cut where you see the full Monty, I
All
think.
right.
Yeah, and I was really annoyed that they censored it because it works much better for the character if I'm forced to to strip down and be completely vulnerable to the hero. So, but whatever. I did it for Special Needs Revolt,
Mhm.
and then wait a minute. Now then I did it again. I'm trying to think. There was a third thing where I did it, and then on Power Positive Murder, I'm sitting at lunch with Adam Peltier, who played the lead, and Debbie Rochon, who played the female lead, and Amanda Flowers, who played the other female lead, and I'm sitting at lunch with the three of them. I just filmed for like 2 days, one day, and then another day a couple weeks later. I'm sitting I'm sitting at lunch with the three of them, and I was telling them about my experience with exposing myself in movies. And they said, you have to do it in this movie. You and there's a perfect scene where you can do it. And they're describing the scene where Jesus Christ appears to Amanda Flowers, and she thinks it's Jesus Christ, but it turns out to be me coming down in the nude. I said, well, yeah, but would Lloyd go for that? They said, well, why don't you ask him? He's right over there. So, or they asked him, what do you think about Bill being nude? He said, yes, go for it.
That's exactly what I think Lloyd would say.
All right. That's what you would think he would say. Yeah. Well, he said it, definitely said it. And so you'll see me nude and the power of positive murder. And I'm I'm nude in Our Man Funk. But you just see the my butt in that. In the other ones, you see the whole thing. But just see my butt in Our Man Funk. Um,
You'll get to see
it's
me get killed in power positive murder. Mm.
oh, you're one of the victims, huh?
Yep, I
Good.
get killed by Amanda Flowers, the amazing Amanda Flowers. Man, is she a delight.
Oh,
Mm.
I love that woman. I think
Oh,
she's
yeah.
great.
Love her, love her. Mm.
She and Adam are a couple now, you know.
I
Did
know
did
we
you
were talking to him at Tromathon. That's so cute. I love the fact they fell in love on the set of Power
they
Positive
did.
Murder.
They did. They
And
did.
yeah, that's the best story
They're
ever.
great people. They're great people. I have wonderful pictures of Adam and Amanda and my wife Dolores and me at dinner together at a restaurant recently. We had a wonderful evening with them.
Hmm.
Um, they're great people. They're
They
great
really
people.
are. I mean, I've met so
Debbie is
many
great.
great people
Debbie
through trauma. It's ridiculous.
Debbie Rochon is great.
Debbie
You know,
Rochon is a hero of mine, just like you're a hero of mine. Mm.
she's great. She and I have a really good scene in Our Man Funk. She's so good. She plays a bartender who recognizes me. It's a long story. I don't want to do spoiler alerts, but it's a wonderful scene. I think. I mean, I've been told it's wonderful. I was acting in it, so I don't really know. But people say it's a great scene.
Well, let's talk a little bit about our man Funk. That's
Yeah,
going to be coming up, sometime soon. I
yeah,
hope.
yeah.
And
In the fall, sometime he was AJ Cutler who directed it, who's just a genius, a genius like I've seldom met in my life. He's an incredible guy. He was in the Once and Future Smash. If you've seen that, you know he's our assistant in that.
Mhm.
He plays our assistant. Uh, he and I got to know each other that weekend that we shot uh, Once and Future Smash, and I I really liked him. But little did I know he'd be one of the best directors I've ever worked with. He's just an incredible director, and I wrote Armand Funk. It was an idea by Jack Russell, who's one of the writers.
Mhm.
Saw a still of me in the Once and Future Smash at an airport carrying he saw it and said, I see you beating up punks at an airport. I said, beating up punks? Are you serious? He said, absolutely. I see you as a punk killer. And I said, oh, I don't know, but I love that idea. I'm crazy about that idea. So I started to work on a story where I would beat up, kill some punks. And we were joined by Frank Soma. And so Frank and Jack and I came up with the screenplay about a grandfather who used to be a cop whose grandson is killed, and he enlists the other two grandchildren. There were three grandchildren. He enlists the other two grandchildren to go on a vigilante hunt to kill the punks who killed the other their brother. So I described the movie as a cross between Death Wish, the Charles Bronson movie,
Oh, I love Bronson. Mm.
and Parenthood, the Ron Howard dramedy with a lot of you know middle class actors, middle class type actors. So it's a family comedy dramedy plus a gore fest of vigilante killing. So it's
That sounds like a recipe for something that I am surely looking forward to.
no,
It's actually one of my most anticipated movies. I can't wait to see it actually. Mm.
I I honestly think look, I've made a lot of movies, and believe me, some of them I would steer you away from. They're so awful,
Hmm.
but there are a few that I I just think are going to be either are or are going to be, and Arm and Funk is going to be like maybe the best movie I've ever made
Oh, I believe
because
in that film, and I knew there was something special early from the beginning. That's why I can't wait to see it. Just I've been following the progress since the beginning. I actually have a little bit part in that myself too.
what are you in? What
I'm
do you?
I'm this cheesy. You remember Phil Donahue back in the '80s?
Sure, sure.
I play this cheesy, like a talk show host called Phil McCracken. And
Oh,
we're talking about when you start beating up punks. There's a TV. I'm on TV and I start talking about you and your vigilante justice. So
wow.
I'm super, I'm super delighted and honored to even be in a movie with you. Actually, that would make
It,
two, I guess, because you're in Power Positive Murder. So yeah,
it's gonna, and that also is going to be a really good movie. But I'm so excited about Our Man Funk. I
so
haven't
on.
seen the frame of it, but I know it's going to be great. And today, in fact, this morning, we shot. So, my grandkid uh, is playing a YouTube influencer in the movie. He talks about the killings that I'm doing. So we shot him this morning. We shot them. He's a they now. I have to call him them. We shot them this morning, doing some of that. AJ Cutler was on. Um, we did a Zoom call because my grandchild is only on a computer.
Hmm.
And so
So it's remote.
it's a part like yours.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
he's talking about the killer. So you play a Phil Donahue type?
Yeah, I'm kind of a spoof of Phil Donahue.
I
My
remember
buddy
Phil.
Wheels is in it too, and so we're pretty excited about it.
Your wife, did you say?
I know my buddy Wheels. Actually, he's a paraplegic. He's in Power Positive Murder too. He's a good
Oh,
friend of mine. He's a comedian and just an all around one of the nicest and sweetest human beings you'll ever meet.
he's a
So
paraplegic.
yeah, yeah, he's a real good guy. And I got him into trauma about a year ago, and it's he's been obsessed ever since. He's been absorbing everything he possibly can. And we went to trauma to pass. I took him to Traumathon last year, and he came this year. And it's I've been shilling trauma to people like a used car salesman for since I was in
Ah,
high school. So I mean, one of these days I'm gonna grab a diploma. That's what I've been working towards. I need that trauma diploma, and I don't care what it takes to get it.
what's your buddy's name?
In real life, it's Matt Onesti, but they everyone calls him Wheels. So
Wheels. Oh, I think I've heard of him. Sure.
yeah,
And
good guy. Hmm.
speaking of that, this is a funny sidelight. We shot Michael St. Michael's, who's the Greasy Strangler.
I love him. I love the Greasy
I
Strangler. I love. Oh, like don't even get me started. You two together, great.
he and I are the stars of the Once and Future Smash, but our co-star is AJ Cutler, and we spent the entire weekend. We shot all of the things in one weekend. It was shot in February of 2020. The following month, COVID struck, and the movie was postponed for a couple of years because of COVID. But that weekend, we shot everything that we shot. And I got to know AJ very well that weekend, except I didn't get to know him all that well because, first of all, he's mixed race. And second of all, he has one leg. And AJ is such an amazing guy that I went through that entire weekend thinking, number one, he was a white man. And number two, he had two legs. Because it was partly my cluelessness and my focus on playing my role that I wasn't thinking. But AJ is so amazing. He just moves through life with such grace and charm and complete competence, and much more than competence, genius. But I didn't know he had one leg. It was just, and I still, it's hard to tell. He lost his leg at 17 in an accident on an oil field, and he apparently went through senior year of high school in a wheelchair,
Oh wow.
and now he's 35, and he's just one of the most amazing people you'd ever want to meet. I say my life has been enhanced so much by meeting and working with AJ Cutler. I have nothing but great stuff to say about him.
Yeah, I love him, and like I much like that, I've learned so much about the disabled community just being friends with Wheels that like you don't know like just how disenfranchised that they treat like the disabled. And it's I've learned so much. My wife and I've learned so much, and like we do our best to be, to work as an advocate for anybody disabled, because like you just assume that there's laws and guidelines and things that will protect people like that, and there really is there's not. Like, and it was such a rude, eye-opening experience just getting to hear all that. Now it's like it puts the fire in your belly that you need to rally for people that need it. And then I mean it's been just a wonderful, and like you say, he's larger than life. Like I've never met a more positive person about life. And I wish I could, he's kind of an inspiration because like I wish I could be that way. And like every day to the fullest.
Wheels,
Yeah.
the Wheels, yeah.
Hmm.
And the same goes of Adrian Esposito, who directed Special Needs Revolt,
Yep.
and Nolan Pierce, who plays the hero.
Hmm.
I mean, Nolan has Down syndrome,
Hmm.
but he's more functional than a lot of people without Down syndrome. I mean, he's just a tremendously functional human being and a great guy. And Adrian has autism. He got high level autism, but he's an autistic guy, and he's an amazing, just an amazing, talented human being. Yeah,
Yeah, there's nothing I like seeing more than people like that win and succeed because like I that's what we need. Like we need I always felt like, anybody should be able to do art and be appreciated no matter of your race, creed, ethnicity, anything, sexuality, if you're in a wheelchair, any of that. Like I love seeing people like that succeed, and nothing makes me happier.
absolutely. I agree with you. I agree
Actually, I
with you.
wanted to ask you, sir. We got through some of the formality now. I wanted to ask you some fun questions here. Hopefully, some of them you haven't heard before. But before I do that, real quick, I just want to ask you, real quick, how did you end up in the latest episode of South Park? I mean, what was it a surprise to you? But I mean, it's brilliant.
It was absolutely. I've never been. I've seldom in my life, and I'm going to be 85 years old Friday. 85.
Really?
So seldom in my life have I been so gobsmacked. Uh, Back in 1992, I think, because it was released at 93, I did an extra stint in a movie called Carlito's Way, which you may have heard about. Al Pacino and Sean Penn.
I love Pacino, one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's directed by Brian De Palma, who is a great director.
Oh, Dress to Kill. I love both.
I don't like Dress to Kill, but that's me. So I I love The Untouchables. I
Oh yeah.
love um several, and I love Carlito's Way.
Oh yeah.
Not not just because I'm in it, but I've done very little extra work because I hate doing extra work. You know what extra work is? You're in the background, right?
Yeah.
But but excuse me, excuse me, excuse me one more time. I got a little.
Take all the time you
There
need.
we go. There we go. Okay. I hate doing extra work, but this one I loved because we shot for 2 days. It was a beautiful shot. It was one of those patented Brian De Palma tracking shots, which goes on forever. Starts on a patio. It's at a big party that the character played by Sean Penn gives for his coke dealer friends. Okay, so I'm playing a coke dealer, I guess. So it starts on the patio. It moves down through next to a swimming pool, moves down to a lawn where Pacino is discovered. Okay, so it starts out with they have a table they're doing coke from, I think. And I start boogieing up, and I'm boogieing toward the mistress of Sean Penn, and we dance around, and then I dance on. My part lasts 15 seconds tops. For some reason, and AJ Cutler swears it's because Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who created and direct South Park, had done a movie for Troma back around the same time the Kabuki Man came out, called
Cannibal the musical.
Cannibal the Musical. It's written by Trey Parker and Matt Stone,
Another classic.
who are brilliant geniuses. Okay, so AJ claims they must have seen me in Carlito's Way. So what happens is they took my character, quote character, which it wasn't didn't even have a name. I just Boogie. They took that character and created a cartoon in the current South Park episode, which is going to be seen by probably more people than ever saw South Park, which means countless millions of people are going to
That's
see
got to
that.
be a good feeling, huh?
And I'm in it, and
Yeah.
and I'm confronting Trump at a garden party. Like, like unbelievable. And if you see the picture, have you seen the pictures
Oh
of,
yeah, I've seen the episode. I love the episode. It's so great.
but have you seen the pictures of me and Carlito's Way?
Yes, did the side by side
Yeah,
comparison.
right, right,
It's
right.
uncanny. It's
You
crazy.
know, you know it's not an accident. I'm wearing the same shirt.
Oh, it's to the T.
They created the pants, they created the hair. It was obvious. It's me. I cannot fucking believe it. It's
It's
just
so good.
incredible, and I'm going to dine out on that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, congratulations. It's so brilliant. But anyway, let me get to some more here. What's the strangest thing that a fan's ever asked you to do for them? Do you have
Oh,
any weird fan stories?
you know, I, this is that's a stumper because I don't think a fan has ever asked me to do anything. I
Really?
I find myself always very surprised by the level of fandom that I've achieved. It, I keep saying I'm a big fish in a very little pond, but I'd rather be a big fish in a little pond than a nothing fish somewhere. I mean, when I say a little pond, it's a horror cult. The horror cult is something I was never involved with. I was always scared to watch horror movies. Now, of course, I watch them. I don't watch certain movies. I don't watch, like The Human Centipede. I won't watch it. I just can't watch that. It's too creepy. But but fan, things that fans have asked me to do. Oh God, I don't. I just I don't get asked that.
Hmm.
I,
See, I'd
I
always thought that you would have people asking you all kinds of crazy shit. Hmm.
I don't
Hmm.
because first
Well,
of
this
all,
doesn't mean now that you hear this that you should go and ask Bill crazy shit now.
I'll probably get asked some stuff now because of this. But, but I
Yes, the
don't.
three people that watch this show might confront you and ask you to do crazy shit.
I don't meet fans in person for the most part. I meet them on online, on Facebook, on Instagram and stuff like that. And they don't ask me to do things, but they ask me to be their friend. Some people that sound very sketchy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you ever got creeped out by talking to someone on the internet?
Not well, I don't talk to these people. The ones that seem sketchy, I just don't. I delete. But I get I get I get a lot of. Would you be my Facebook friend from women in Indonesia? You know, like that.
Hmm.
Or you're very sexy and all that stuff, which of course I like to hear that, but
Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, that's not
not that
necessarily a bad
true.
thing, huh? Yeah.
I can't believe I'm 85 years old. Cannot believe
I
it.
can't either. Surely I would have never guessed that.
No, people don't. Listen, as long as that goes on, I'm fine.
Let me ask you, what's the best and worst part about being an actor? Has it ever been detrimental to your life?
I can't remember ever being detrimental. Love being an actor. I will say that I've said this many times, so it's not like this is the first time I've said it, but my favorite people in the world are actors, and my least favorite people in the world are actors because it all depends on how you approach it. Some people are just like they're so great. It doesn't affect their personality, but other people, fame is a drug. It could go to people's heads, and they get actory. You know, like they act like actors. That kind of thing I don't like. I mean, I you scratch an actor, you got a narcissist. I would be the first to admit I'm narcissistic,
Hmm.
but I'm not a narcissist. And some people are. They just can't think past themselves, and that's very unattractive. So that's the way I feel. I've always been great about being an actor. I always wanted to be an actor. I told you from the moment I drew breath, I wanted to be an actor, and when I became an actor, that was my dream. I I I love being a writer, but being a writer is much more difficult to me because you face that blank sheet of paper. It's
You
very
versus the paper.
very daunting. But being an actor, I just did. I yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. That's my response to a director. I don't care how bad the director is. Yes sir is my response.
Bill, what's one thing that you feel you can't live without in life?
But my wife is one thing, who's the best woman I've ever met,
Hmm.
best person I've ever met. Um, I can't do without being in show business. See, that's the thing about some people leave the business, and more power to them. My daughter, who's like seriously one of the best actors I've ever seen in my life. She was on Broadway.
Oh
She's
wow.
she's going to be 50 in December. But she's she's acting in community theater now, and she's like one of the best actors I've ever seen. She left the business because she wasn't getting enough jobs. She 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 worked for World Wrestling Entertainment for 8 years. She was a rock star there. And then they let a lot of people. Now she's working for Bloomberg. She's a brilliant woman, and she's having a great time. But if you don't have the fire in the belly, you don't belong in the business. You if if you're not willing to stick it out through thick and thin, and believe me, there's a lot of thin. If you're not willing to stick that out, you don't belong in show business. But to me, what was your question again?
Oh,
I want to go
what's
back to you.
one thing you can't live without?
One thing I can't live without being well, now it's being an actor. I don't want to do anything else. I'll I'll write if they pay me, but they don't pay me anymore. And they hardly pay me to be an actor, but I just fucking love being an actor. And that's one thing I don't want to live without. And my wife is another, and and my daughter and her husband
Hmm.
and my
I love
family.
hearing that. Let me ask you, do you believe in the supernatural, and do you have you ever felt like you had a supernatural experience?
The risk of sounding very middle class, I don't believe in the supernatural. I really don't. Uh, my wife does. She and I know a lot of people who do, and I don't downplay it. I just don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in the afterlife. I don't believe in a lot of stuff that a lot of people believe in, and I don't believe in the supernatural. I like playing it. I love playing it, but I don't really think it exists. And I'm perfectly willing to admit that's a kind of like a blah attitude, but I just don't. I just don't. And I, I can't force myself to start believing it because I played it. I mean, Kabuki Man is a perfect example of I'm the evil one, right? I'm Reginald Stewart, the industrialist, but I'm hiding the fact that I'm really a supernatural creature. I love playing that, but I don't really believe that could exist. I don't believe that other otherworldly forces are going to come down and destroy us. I just don't believe that, but it could be true. I'm not saying it's definitely not true, but I I don't go there. But that's a good question.
If you could pick one person to play you in a biopic, who would be your main choice?
Michael Keaton.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I
Oh,
love.
yeah, I love me some Michael Keaton. He's actually from around my area.
He is. Well,
He's from
he's from.
Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Is he? I adore Michael Keaton.
so do I. He's a brilliant.
He's my favorite film actor, and of course, I would choose him to play me because he's just got so many layers.
Yeah, and range. Oh,
Have you seen Clean and Sober?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my
I'll
God.
be honest, there isn't too many Michael Keaton films I haven't seen. I enjoy him so much, and coming
Any,
around here, he's kind of like a local hero. So you almost kind of you kind of want to. So
Anybody that can do Beetlejuice and Clean and Sober in the same year, 1988.
you remember Gung Ho? I think that's a really good
I
one.
love Gung Ho. I
Oh
love
yeah.
it. It's one of the only Ron Howard movies I like. I'm not a big Ron Howard fan. I, but I love Gung Ho.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I really do.
He has had so many. I like what was that Pacific Heights where he plays the
Oh,
villain? Oh, that's so
so
good. Oh,
so great. Uh, he also did a very bad movie where he was a villain called Blindsided or something like that.
oh, I remember that.
That's a
Yeah,
bad movie.
that was
That's
kind of over
good.
the top.
But he's good in it. He's never bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not. That wasn't really his fault. I mean,
the other movie he did that was just awful, unwatchable to me is Jack Frost. Have you ever seen that?
oh, where he's the snowman. Yeah, people
It's,
seem to really love that. And like, I always thought it was
there was
really
a
cheesy. That was
there was there was a there was a period in his life where I think he was just doing things to keep the paycheck coming because
yeah.
he was raising his son who turned out to be a great person. His son is a very he's not in the business, but he's doing some really great stuff.
Hmm.
He he was a single dad, right? I think raising his son, and he did some movies that were really not very good in that period. But then he came back with Birdman and Spotlight and the things that he made later
I
that
like
were
Multiplicity. I think that's an underrated one. Hmm.
that yeah, that's not a bad picture. I not one of my favorites. I love My Life. You ever seen
Oh yeah, that's really good. Hmm.
he's great. So yeah, when you say who would I like to play me, it'd be Michael Keaton. I like
That's actually I could actually see that. It's perfect casting, to be honest with you.
Mark Ruffalo. I like too.
Oh yeah, he's
I love Mark Ruffalo. Yeah, there's some actors that I really love. There's another one. I'm trying to think who it was talking about it the other day. Another actor that I'm crazy about, but one person, my least favorite, my least favorite current actor is Johnny Depp, who's done so many things I don't like.
You know what? I kind of was down with him early, like long time, and then now it seems like he's almost like a parody of
I mean,
himself. I mean,
his great, he was great as Ed Wood. You ever seen Ed Wood?
it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
That is a great film. He is great in that.
Yeah, it's one of Burton's best. Hmm.
Martin Landau is even better. So it's
Oh
sort
yeah,
of dwarfs.
everybody's great in that movie. It's such an ensemble cast.
That's a great film. It's one of Tim Burton's best films.
I believe so. Hmm.
Tim Burton's made a lot of clunkers,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, but
I see. I still stick with him though, because like I mean, I don't want to give it up because he was so influential to me also growing up because he was, he was kind of like I almost was relatable because like you said, and I can relate to it too. Like you were kind of, we've always been kind of the outcast, and I feel like he's kind of the outcast director. Like I mean,
oh yeah, yeah,
always
for
very
sure.
relatable. He always makes weird things that relate, connects to a niche audience, and now it's nice that he's kind of like the whole world's kind of appreciating like his vision.
I love his Batman. I
Yes.
love his Bat. I love I
I think
love
that's
his
the best one in my opinion. Mhm.
yeah, by far. I want to hear like an opinion that probably will turn off some of your audience. I
Can't
hate
be worse than anything I say.
I hate I hate Christopher Nolan. I just cannot stand what he's done. Inception and Interstellar are two of my least favorite movies of all time.
You didn't like Dark Knight? Hmm.
No,
Hmm.
but that's me. I keep comparing those things with Tim Burton's Batman, and just like I just don't think they're anywhere near as good. And and the same thing is true with Batman Returns. Is that
Yeah, I thought what if
no?
I
No, wait,
remember was wait a minute, was it Batman Begins was the first Nolan one?
that's the one I'm talking about. Batman Begins. Batman Returns was Tim Burton's
Yeah,
sequel.
the sequel to the first one.
That I liked.
I do too. With Danny
I love.
DeVito as the
I like.
Penguin and
I
Michelle
like the
Pfeiffer as the Catwoman.
Batmans. I like the Tim Burton Batmans partly because I think they were good, and partly because Michael Keaton played Batman.
He was
So
the best Batman as far as I'm. He'll always be Batman as far as
by
I'm
far,
concerned.
by
So
far. Um,
They've
Um,
had a lot of really odd people playing Batman, like Val Kilmer.
oh, listen, oh, I'll tell you. I said I hate doing extra work. One thing I can always tell when I'm an extra is whether the movie's going to be good or not.
Hmm.
I was an extra on Carlito's Way. I knew it was going to be a terrific film. I was an extra on Batman Forever.
Oh yeah.
I knew it was going to be awful because everybody on that movie was miserable. You could tell that Val Kilmer was miserable, Nicole Kidman was miserable, and Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones hated each other.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's a famous story now that they infamously hated each other.
Oh, I
Actually,
didn't
more
know
so
that.
Tommy Lee Jones. I don't even think Jim Carrey hated Tommy Lee Jones, but Tommy Lee Jones hated him.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I believe it because I saw the vibe on the set was so toxic, and Joel Schumacher, the director, I think everybody hated him. It was just a terrible feeling, and that's it. I hid in the crowd so I wouldn't get seen on screen.
Oh
I
wow.
didn't want to get seen in that movie because I
Wow.
knew, and,
Wow.
and it was to me it was a terrible movie.
Yeah, I didn't like that one
I
very
didn't
much.
like it at all.
That was
Uh,
pretty bad.
I'd never seen Batman and Robin, which I understand is even worse.
Yeah, that's almost unwatchable.
Yeah, that's what I hear. George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell, is that his name?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Not good. Not good.
was in Scent of a Woman, which I'm I'm a big Al Pacino fan, but
Oh
that's
my, I love Son of a Woman.
well, I don't love it,
Oh wow, really?
oh, I no, I don't love it,
Wow,
and
most people I know really dig it.
I know, yeah,
Booyah.
yeah, the donkey, and that's the one he won the Oscar for after giving all these great performances in Godfather and Serpico and all the Dog Day Afternoon and all those great movies that
Even
he
Cruising. I think he gets I thought Cruising's underrated.
cruising. Yeah, it is underrated. It's underrated. Yeah, it definitely is underrated. But I didn't like Son of a Woman, but a lot of people did, and he won the Oscar for it. So what do I know? He's crying all the way to the bank.
But what's one thing that you enjoy doing that might surprise your fans?
Oh God. Well, it wouldn't surprise my fans to say that I like exhibiting myself.
Yeah,
That's all my fans know that I do.
that's not a surprise.
Um, what do I enjoy doing? I
You don't do something like that would be surprising to people, like you don't crochet or you don't you don't do
I,
kickboxing in the Philippines or
I, I don't do anything macho and I don't do anything feminine. I I like working with my dog. I like that. I like watching movies wouldn't be a surprise at all. I love doing that. I I love eating.
so do I. You don't get this petting kitty cats. Look at that,
Well,
huh?
luckily, I've kept my weight off for the last like 5 years. I used to be a little chubby, and you can see in the first Psycho Ape, I've got a belly, but I don't have that anymore, and I'm very happy about that. Um, but I do like eating. I like eating ice cream.
Mm.
I like doing a lot of stuff, but I, I'm not sure anything that I do would be surprising to anybody. I don't like playing football. I don't like my my working definition of hell is one day of golf, followed one day of fishing, rinse and repeat, golf and
This
fish.
might shock you, and this I don't I've never followed sports. I don't enjoy sports. I don't watch sports ever my whole life, and you don't even understand like how many people like look at you like you're insane. Like they're like, "Hey, you're no man. Like, give me back your man card." And I'm just like,
The only
"No."
sport that I ever got involved in at all is baseball. During the summer of '86, this would surprise people, I think, but
Ooh,
it hasn't happened since 1986.
it still counts.
I had one topic of conversation. It was the Mets, the Mets, the Mets, the Mets, the Mets. That was the year they won the pennant over the Red Sox. And I came from Boston, so I was very torn. I I had always been a Red Sox fan because I came from Boston. But when it came to the Mets versus the Red Sox, there was no question. I was a Mets fan, and I only had one topic of conversation for that entire summer, and that was the Mets, the Mets, the Mets, the Mets, the Mets. And I still can't get over that. That's that. The moment that the Mets won the World Series was one of the top moments of my life up to that point. I loved it. So that would probably surprise my fans because I don't come off like a baseball fan, but that summer I was the ultimate baseball fan.
Hmm.
I haven't been into it that much since, but boy, was that ever that was the main motivator of my life that summer was the Mets.
Let me
Well,
ask you this. What's one thing that you think everyone looks ridiculous doing? Hmm.
God, what a great question. Uh, hmm, Playing video games.
I get that. I mean, I'm a gamer and I still get that.
I
I
just,
mean,
I just I can't get it. I just can't get into that at all. And to me, it's it's mindless enough just watching the tube, but doing that stuff, like I, I, I think at the risk of sounding like an old fogey, it's going to rot your brain.
Let me ask you this, sir. What's the biggest risk that you feel you've ever taken?
Well, let's see. Stopping drinking was the biggest risk I've taken,
Why
and
would that be a risk?
because I was such a big drinker,
Mm.
I thought I needed alcohol to live,
Oh,
and I mean I'm a recovering alcoholic for I haven't had a drink for 48 years, so
that's so commendable.
well, I didn't do it all myself. Let's put it that way. At the risk of not breaking anonymity, I didn't do it all myself. But yeah, it's absolutely commendable. I agree with you. But that was a big risk, and then the big risk after that, after stopping, was getting on stage sober, because I had always had a little bit of booze to get me on stage, and then taking that risk of going on stage completely straight. And then when it happened and it worked, what what a watershed moment that was in my life. You can imagine. I mean, anybody who's not a slave to booze probably doesn't understand that. But if you're a slave to booze and then you stop it, and then you can continue to function and function even better, because I always felt I needed that courage that booze gave me to do the stuff I was doing. But that was definitely the biggest risk I ever took, and it paid off because I would not be able to do anything. I would not have been able to apply for the job in Kabuki Man if I'd been drinking at that point. But I was 12 years sober at that point.
That's such excellent news to hear.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, sir. What's a surefire way to make you laugh? What do you find funny?
Well, this is a very interesting. I was talking about this the other day. Comedy writers, and I was a comedy writer for years. Comedy writers, when they work together and come up with something hysterical, what you'll say is, "That's funny," but you don't laugh. That's funny, but you don't laugh. I happen to laugh more than most comedy writers I know. Most comedy writers say that's funny, but they don't laugh. I would laugh once. I will laugh at something that's funny. I I laugh at the Marx Brothers. I laugh at W.C. Fields. I laugh at Buster Keaton. I laughed at Bridesmaids, which I love that movie Bridesmaids.
Oh, it's a funny movie. Mm.
I love Bridesmaids. you give me something funny, like here's an example. In 29, excuse me, in 2019, I made a movie called Psycho 8,
Yeah, is that Addison's movie?
Addison and
Yeah,
Greg.
I see him at all the cons. What? I love a guy.
Addison got directing credit for that. He offered it to Greg, but Greg just was content to be just the editor. Um, so we shot the movie in Detroit and Manhattan, and it was fun to do. It was a goof. I thought it was silly and goofy. And then Greg edited together, and they sent me the movie, and I laughed my ass off. I said, "This movie is hilarious." I never knew when we were making it how funny it would be because it was so well edited. And then Psycho 8 2 was credited to Addison and Greg, which the first one should have been too, because they really work in tandem. Um, Greg is a genius editor. Greg DeLiso.
Yeah, I've wanted to see. I didn't see the second one yet. I've been wanting to.
Oh, the second one is like weird. It's really weird. It's it's people either love it or hate it. And I understand why, because it's one of the strange. It's I think it's absolutely unique. It's one of a kind. I've never seen a movie like it.
Hmm.
It's half of it is outtakes, and during the movie we are selling merch for the movie.
So you're breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, I mean, we break the fourth wall so much in that movie that there is no fourth wall. It's just
The wall
we
has been broken.
at one point I say, you can call me Dr. Zumas, you can call me Bill Weeden, you can call her Kansas Bowling, you can call her we talk like that. So it's a very strange movie and very, very clever. But not everybody's gonna like it. But but the people but the people that like it say, this is the best movie I've ever seen. And and the people that don't like it say this is a piece of shit.
See, I think that's some of the best stuff though when it's that
It is.
divisive. I like because
It
that gets
is.
generates people talking, and I love when
It's
people talk
totally,
about film. So I think that's a win in and of itself.
I agree 100%. It's totally polarizing. Totally
I
polarizing.
love that.
Yeah, right.
But I got two more for you, and I before we wrap it up here,
Go
have
for it.
you ever did karaoke, and what is your go-to song?
My go-to song is "Help Me, Rhonda" by the Beach Boys.
Oh, nice. That's a good
Help
one.
me, Rhonda.
Help, help me, Rhonda,
Help
get
me,
her out of my
Rhonda.
heart.
Help me, Rhonda.
We're gonna have
Get
to
her out of
karaoke
my
one day,
heart.
Bill.
I, I, I'm crazy about the Beach Boys. I'm
Oh, I love
crazy.
the beach. I think Pet Sounds is one of the best albums ever made.
I love it. That's my go-to sound. And that song, I have done karaoke. I also do. I left my heart in San Francisco, the Tony Bennett song.
Oh, wow. That's a
That's my
good
ballad.
one. I'd
I
love to
left
hear you
my
do that.
heart
Have you ever
in
thought about putting
San
out a
Francisco.
singing album, sir? I would listen to that.
Tony Bennett is my my favorite pop singer.
Oh, he's great.
I like him better than Sinatra, and I'll say that anytime. Sinatra's great, but I prefer Tony Bennett because he's just like straight ahead. He doesn't fuck with the melody. He doesn't
Yeah.
do Scooby Dooby Doo and get ring a ding ding and all that stuff. Sinatra does. He just sings it like he's going to heaven. And I love Tony Bennett, but
I have
I like Sinatra too, but not like Bennett.
I'm actually, this might surprise a lot of people. Since I've been a kid, I've been a huge Harry Connick Jr. fan. Like
Oh, he's great.
I love crooners. Like I've always, I'm a big Elvis Costello fan. I'm a big Harry Connick Jr. fan. In fact, my wife
Good.
got me tickets to go see Elvis here next month, so I'm pretty excited. I like
Wow.
songwriters. Like I like
Yeah.
people that have something to say,
Yeah.
in their music. But I have one last question for you, sir.
Go for it.
What's the most meaningful gift that you feel anyone has ever given you?
Oh man. Oh wow, what a question. I've gotten so many gifts. Uh, that's I have to think about that. That's a killer. That
Well, I'm kind of glad because I was hoping to try to construct things that you haven't heard a million times, and I feel like I
Oh,
did
no,
okay.
that's a great question. Um, the most meaningful gift that anybody's ever given me. Oh, okay. My daughter, when she was about, I guess, 8 years old,
Hmm.
she gave me a Father's Day gift, which I still have. It's in
Hmm.
my drawer. I hardly ever wear it. It was a T-shirt that she made based on Imagine John Lennon. Remember the T-shirt with she made one called Imagine Bill Weeden, and I've
Oh,
still got that.
oh, that's sweet.
Just a drawing of me, and I still cherish that T-shirt. And she gave it to me when she was about 8, and she's now going to be 50 in December. And she's like I say, she's one of the most brilliant women I've. But even then, she was brilliant.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would say that may be the one gift that means more to me than maybe any other because it was given to me on Father's Day uh, when my daughter was like about 8. Hmm. So that's a great question.
Lastly, is there any if you could give my audience advice on becoming an actor, is there any advice you could give people that would want to kind of break into the business? Would you recommend it or no? Hmm.
I like I said before, if you don't have the fire in the belly and you're not willing to give up everything else to be in the business, you don't belong in the business because it's not an easy life. It's something you need to I wouldn't be happy doing anything else. If you I for, for my first few years out of college, I worked 9 to 5 jobs. If I had to do that now, I haven't done it since 1968. I was lucky. I've always been able to make ends meet one way or the other since 1968. But
Wow.
I had to do that again. This is the way I put it. And please, I would rather live in Staten Island or Iowa than work 9 to 5. And if you live in Staten Island or Iowa, don't take it personally. But no, you have to really want it more than anything in the world, or just don't even try because it's not always going to feed you. I'm so happy that I didn't get what I wanted when I was in my 20s, because if I had, I'd be dead now.
Hmm.
If I'd gotten what I wanted at the age of 25, I'd probably be doing cocaine, or I probably would be doing some, I don't know. I would have killed myself somehow.
Hmm.
Here I am. I'm going to be 85, and I am so fucking happy with my life.
Well, I can't think of a better way to end this than that. There's definitely a happy ending to this story. Bill, it's been a complete honor, a privilege,
Oh,
and just so
my,
nice to talk to you. Where can we keep up with you on your future projects? You're on Instagram.
I am on Instagram, but I've never been able to figure out I've never been able to figure out Instagram. All it is,
I know you're on Facebook. I know you're on
I'm
Instagram.
on
Is there?
Facebook. You can always get me on Facebook, and that's the easiest way to get me. I know it's old hat. I know it's a boomer thing, but I don't care because Instagram. First of all, the
I don't even
story
understand Instagram.
the story vanished within like a minute.
Yeah.
By the time somebody says that you got a story, I look for the story. It's gone. Uh, it's mainly pictures. I don't understand Instagram. As for TikTok, I mean that's like it's a totally different generation completely. So you get me on Facebook, and please don't put me down for being on Facebook because it's all I can deal with.
I'm primarily on too, unfortunately. That's what I know how to use. So I'm kind of an old head myself. So
It works for me.
same here.
I,
You know what?
I get a lot of contacts from Facebook. Yes, it's okay, boomer. Okay, right. I understand all that stuff, but I'm not even a boomer. I'm older than a boomer. But yeah, they say boomers began in 1945. I was born in 1940. So there you go. What can I tell you? Here I am.
Well, I tell you what, sir, thank you so much for being on my show. I absolutely love talking to you. I adore you. I'm a huge fan. Everybody, you go on Facebook, you find out what's going on with Bill, keep in touch with him. Other than that, It was a pleasure,
Weeden,
sir. So
Weeden. Don't spell my name wrong.
Weeden. That's how you're going to find
Weeden.
me.
All E's. It's D and an N. I've been misspelled a million ways, but it's easy. Just go with all the E's.
There, you heard it. Make sure you don't misspell Whedon. You keep up with what he's doing. I'll make sure I'll keep you in touch too with what's going on with Mr. Bill Weeden. It was a pleasure, sir. I love you, man. Peace and love. You have
Thank
a
you so
wonderful
much,
day,
Mike
sir.
Balls. Thank you,
Thank you
Balls.
for the opportunity, sir.
Thank
Peace and love. You're the best.
you.